There's a beach town in America where the water lights up at night like it's electric, where homes cost less than a luxury SUV, and where most Americans have never even heard the name. No, this isn't edited, it's not a travel influencer lie, it's just overlooked. Everyone thinks they understand American beach towns, Miami noise, California cliffs, the Outer Banks with perfect vacation homes, but that's not the full map. Hidden along U.S. coastlines are beach towns that don't follow the rules. They're not resort towns, they're not party hubs, they're not even trying to be famous. Some are protected by nature, some are trapped by geography, some were forgotten after history moved on. We're counting down 10 real beach towns in the United States that feel unreal. One has sand that literally sings under your feet. One is surrounded by wild horses that outnumber the residents. One exists on an island where cars are banned and life feels frozen in the 1800s. Think you've seen every beach worth knowing? Good. This list isn't for tourists. Like the video if you've ever realized the best places never make travel guides. Subscribe because sooner or later you'll want to disappear somewhere quiet. And this channel is basically your decoder for places nobody talks about. Let's break it down. Port Aransas, Texas. Port Aransas is the Texas beach town where golf carts matter more than cars, and nobody pretends otherwise. This town sits on Mustang Island, about 30 miles from Corpus Christi, and has roughly 4,000 year-round residents. In summer, that number explodes, but the infrastructure never fully changed, and that's the point. You reach Port Aransas by ferry. It's free, run by the state. Locals treat it like a daily commute, not a novelty. The vibe here is aggressively casual. Flip-flops are acceptable everywhere. Golf carts dominate the roads. And yes, people drive trucks directly onto the beach. That's not a suggestion, that's legal. Here's what makes Port Aransas genuinely different. Beach driving is allowed along large sections of shoreline. People park on the sand, set up tents, grills, fishing rods, and stay all day. It's freedom mixed with chaos. Every single day, someone gets stuck in the sand. Watching a lifted truck slowly sink while the driver panics is basically local entertainment. Fishing isn't a hobby here. It's identity. Everything revolves around it. Bait shops, charter boats, docks, and conversations. People don't ask what you do for work, they ask what you caught. Port Aransas was nearly wiped out by Hurricane Harvey in 2017. The storm hit directly. Entire neighborhoods were destroyed. The town rebuilt, but never polished itself into a resort version of coastal life. That's why it still feels real. There's no curated downtown, no designer boutiques, no influencer aesthetics, just dive bars, weathered rentals, and buildings that have seen better decades. Someone once wrote online, "Port A isn't what travel magazines want Texas beaches to be, it's what they actually are." That's accurate. You'll see millionaires and construction workers parked next to each other on the sand. Nobody cares. No one's pretending. The beach doesn't discriminate. Now the trade-offs. The water isn't crystal clear. Texas Gulf beaches are brown. They're seaweed. You accept it or you leave. The heat is brutal. Hurricanes are a real risk. Infrastructure is always in recovery mode. But the water's warm, the fishing is excellent, and the cost of entry is still lower than most coastal towns. Picture this. Sunset over the Gulf, trucks scattered across the sand, someone grilling nearby, pelicans dive-bombing the surf. A golf cart rolls past with a cooler strapped to the back. It's messy, it's loud, it's not Instagram perfect, and that's exactly why people love it. Port Aransas didn't survive Harvey because it's charming. It survived because it's stubborn. Be honest. Would you vacation somewhere people drive trucks on the beach? Is that freedom or pure chaos? Comment below.
Next, Dungeness, Washington.
Dungeness is the kind of beach town that doesn't feel real while you're in it and feels even stranger once you leave. This is not a resort. It's barely even a town. Dungeness sits on Washington State's Olympic Peninsula near the town of Sequim. The population is tiny, scattered, and quiet. What people actually come for isn't buildings, it's the land. Specifically, the Dungeness Spit. This is one of the longest natural sand spits in the world, stretching over 5 miles straight into the Strait of Juan de Fuca. Walking it feels like slowly leaving civilization behind. Water on both sides, mountains in the distance, and nothing else. At the very end of the spit sits the new Dungeness Lighthouse, first built in 1857. It's still active today. And yes, you can stay there as a volunteer lighthouse keeper if you're willing to commit. Here's what makes Dungeness strange. You are walking through a national wildlife refuge. Seals watch you from the water. Birds circle constantly. The beach feels untouched because it mostly is. And yes, Dungeness crabs are named after this place. The fishing culture here runs deep, quiet, and old school. Now here's the part most people don't expect. Dungeness is not rainy like Seattle. The Olympic Mountains create a rain shadow, meaning this area actually gets significantly less rainfall than much of western Washington. It's one of the sunniest coastal stretches in the Pacific Northwest. But don't misunderstand, this is still a cold water beach. The Pacific here is frigid year-round. Swimming is rare, sunbathing is optional. Most people come layered, even in summer. Walking the spit is a commitment. It's a 10-mile round trip on sand. No bathrooms, no food, no shortcuts. By mile 3, it feels meditative. By mile 5, it feels unreal. You start questioning how far you've actually gone, because the lighthouse never seems to get closer until suddenly it does. If you make it to the end, you've earned it. Dungeness isn't about amenities. There are no boardwalks, no beach bars, no crowds. Pacific Northwest beach culture is different. People come here to storm watch, beachcomb, hike, and sit with weather. The beaches are moody, dramatic, and often empty, especially compared to California or Florida. Picture this. You're walking a narrow ribbon of sand with water on both sides. Seals pop their heads up to watch you pass. The lighthouse slowly grows larger. You are miles from anything that resembles a city. It's calm, it's unsettling, and it's beautiful. Most Americans have no idea Dungeness exists. So be honest, would you walk 10 miles on a beach just to reach a lighthouse? Adventure or unnecessary suffering?
There's a beach in America where the water lights up blue at night. Not reflections, not LEDs, not editing. Real water, real light. Welcome to Vieques, a small island off the eastern coast of Puerto Rico with around 9,000 residents and one of the most unreal beach environments in the United States. Vieques used to be a U.S. Navy bombing range until 2003. For decades, most of the island was off-limits. No resorts, no overdevelopment, no beach hotels lining the shore. That accidental protection is why Vieques looks the way it does today. Here's what makes it unbelievable. Mosquito Bay is one of the brightest bioluminescent bays on Earth. Microscopic organisms called dinoflagellates emit light when disturbed. Every paddle stroke, every fish movement, every ripple glows electric blue. Kayaking there at night feels fake, like you're moving through stars. This isn't rare glow, it's intense. Vieques consistently ranks among the brightest bioluminescent bays in the world. But that's only part of it. The beaches are largely undeveloped, miles of coastline with minimal buildings. Rough roads lead to empty coves. You don't stumble into beaches here, you search for them. And then there are the wild horses. They roam freely across the island, on beaches, roads, front yards. They outnumber people in some areas. There are no fences. You adapt to them, not the other way around. Snorkeling and diving are world-class. Clear Caribbean water, healthy reefs. Less pressure from mass tourism because getting here requires effort. You need a ferry or a small plane. That barrier keeps crowds down, but it also complicates life. Now, the reality check. Vieques has infrastructure problems. Power outages happen, supplies are limited. Some areas still deal with environmental contamination from past military use. Medical care is basic. You live on island time whether you like it or not. A resident once put it perfectly. Vieques is stunning and frustrating. The beaches are unreal. The bio bay is magic. But the power goes out and you learn patience fast. This isn't cheap paradise, it's raw. Picture this. You're kayaking in complete darkness. Every paddle stroke ignites blue light in the water. Fish streak past like glowing comets. The bay sparkles around you. Your brain struggles to accept it's real. Then the lights go out back at home again, and you remember where you are. Vieques is technically America, but it doesn't feel like it. So, be honest, would you accept power outages and ferry dependence for glowing water and empty Caribbean beaches? Magic or too much compromise?
There's a beach town in America where wild horses have the right of way, not figuratively, literally. Welcome to Corolla on North Carolina's Outer Banks, where paved roads end, rules loosen, and the land decides how things work. Corolla sits at the northern end of the Outer Banks. For years, there was no bridge, no highway, no easy access. Development arrived late and unevenly. That delay is why it still feels different from the rest of the coast. Here's what makes Corolla strange. The last stretch of beach is four-wheel drive only. No asphalt, no streetlights, no sidewalks. If your vehicle can't handle sand, you don't belong there. And that's where the horses come in. The Corolla wild horses are descendants of Spanish Mustangs brought over centuries ago. They roam freely through dunes, neighborhoods, and beaches. They outnumber permanent residents. They block roads, they sleep near houses, and they are legally protected. If a horse stands in your way, you wait. Housing here is scattered. Large beach homes sit next to untouched dunes. No boardwalk, no amusement piers, no mini-golf chaos. Just sand, wind, and animals that don't care about your vacation plans. Now, the trade-offs. Everything costs more. Groceries are expensive. Gas is limited. Services are sparse. There are no big grocery chains, no hospitals nearby. Internet exists, but storms decide whether it behaves. Hurricanes regularly reshape the coastline. Some years, entire sections of beach disappear and reform somewhere else. This is not casual beach living. You plan everything. You respect weather. You learn when not to drive. Tourism exists, but it's controlled by access. Families rent houses for weeks at a time. Day trippers usually turn back when the pavement ends. Picture this. You're driving slowly across open sand. A group of horses crosses in front of your vehicle. The ocean stretches endlessly on one side. Dunes rise on the other. There are no signs telling you what to do, only what not to disturb. Corolla works because it never tried to tame itself, but it's not for everyone. If you need convenience, nightlife, or certainty, this place will exhaust you. If you value quiet, space, and nature setting the rules, it's unforgettable. So be honest, would you live somewhere animals outrank schedules? Freedom or constant inconvenience? There is a beach in America where the sand makes noise when you walk on it. Not waves, not wind, the sand itself. Welcome to Sand Mountain Beach near Yakutat, Alaska,
one of the strangest coastal environments in the United States, and one almost nobody talks about because it breaks the beach town template entirely. Yakutat sits on the Gulf of Alaska, wedged between the Pacific Ocean and some of the largest glaciers in North America. It's remote even by Alaska standards. You don't stumble into this place, you choose it. Here's why it's bizarre. The sand here is made of extremely uniform quartz grains. When conditions are right, dry surface, low humidity, walking across it produces a low-pitched squeaking or humming sound. Locals call it singing sand. Scientists explain it. Visitors don't care. It feels unreal. But the sand is only the beginning. Behind the beach are glaciers, actual living glaciers flowing toward the ocean. On a clear day, you can stand on a beach and see ice fields, mountains, forest, and open ocean all at once. That combination should not exist, but it does. Now the reality check. This is not a warm beach. This is not a sunbathing beach. This is a jacket in July beach. The water is frigid year-round. Swimming is rare and dangerous. The town itself has fewer than 700 residents. Supplies arrive by plane or boat. If the weather shuts down flights, you wait. And weather shuts things down a lot. But Yakutat offers something most beaches never will: space. Miles of empty shoreline. No umbrellas, no vendors, no noise except wind, birds, and surf. Fishing is world-class. Surfing exists, yes, in Alaska, but only for people who enjoy cold water and isolation. There are no resorts, no boardwalks, no nightlife. If you're bored here, that's on you. One visitor described it perfectly. Yakutat feels like the edge of the continent forgot to end. Picture this. You're walking across dark sand. Each step makes a faint sound beneath your boots. Behind you, forest and ice. In front of you, the Pacific stretching endlessly south. No crowds, no development, no distractions. Just geography doing whatever it wants. Sand Mountain Beach isn't a destination for comfort. It's a destination for perspective. If you need warm water and convenience, leave now. If you want to feel how small the country actually is, stay. So, be honest. Would you trade palm trees for glaciers if the beach still counted?
There is a beach town in America where cars are banned. Not discouraged, not limited, illegal. Welcome to Bald Head Island, North Carolina, a place where the loudest thing on the street is usually a bicycle bell or the wind moving through live oaks. Bald Head Island sits at the mouth of the Cape Fear River, just south of Wilmington. You can only reach it by passenger ferry. No bridge, no drive, no shortcuts. And once you arrive, motor vehicles stop mattering. Transportation here is golf carts, bikes, and walking. That's it. Emergency vehicles exist, but everyday life moves at a pace most Americans forgot was possible. Here's why Bald Head Island feels unreal. There are no traffic lights, no gas stations, no fast food chains. The island is heavily protected environmentally. Large portions are preserved forest and maritime dunes. Development exists, but it's controlled. Houses are spread out, no towering condos, no skyline. The beaches are wide, clean, and quiet, and often nearly empty even in peak season. Now the trade-offs. Everything is more complicated. Groceries arrive by ferry. Construction costs are higher. Repairs take longer. Weather dictates logistics. If the ferry stops running, your plans stop with it. Hurricane season is a constant consideration. Evacuation is mandatory during major storms, and you don't argue with the ocean here. This is not budget beach living. Homes are expensive, rentals are not cheap. You're paying for restriction, not amenities. But what you get in return is absence. No traffic noise, no rush, no accidental chaos. Residents plan days differently. You don't run out for something. You think ahead. You schedule deliveries. You adapt. One longtime resident said, "Living here trains patience back into your body." Picture this.
You're riding a bike under a canopy of oak trees. Spanish moss drapes overhead. The air smells like salt and pine. You pass maybe 2 people in 10 minutes. The beach is waiting, quiet, untouched. Bald Head Island proves something important. Removing cars doesn't just change transportation, it changes behavior. So be honest, could you live somewhere where convenience is sacrificed on purpose?
There is a beach town in America where the beach consistently ranks among the best in the country, yet most people have never stepped foot on it because you can't just drive there. Welcome to Calidesi Island, Florida. It sits just north of Clearwater Beach, one of the most tourist-saturated coastlines in the state. Millions of people crowd the mainland every year, while Calidesi stays quiet on purpose. Here's why it feels unreal. There are no bridges to the island, no hotels, no condos, no nightlife. You reach Calidesi by ferry, private boat, or kayak, and that barrier alone filters out 90% of people. The island is a protected state park. That means development is capped permanently. The beaches stay wide, the sand stays white, and the water stays shockingly clear for the Gulf Coast. Now the part that breaks expectations. Calidesi is technically part of America's most overdeveloped beach region, yet it feels empty. You can walk half a mile and see no one. Dolphins swim close to shore, ospreys circle overhead, mangrove trails cut through the interior like a maze. No souvenir shops, no jet ski rentals screaming past you, no loud music, just beach. But let's be honest about the trade-offs. You don't live here casually. There is no residential neighborhood. Rangers stay on the island, but civilians don't. This is a day trip or boat life beach, not a condo lifestyle. Food options are minimal. If you forget water or sunscreen, that's your problem. When storms roll in, ferries stop, plans dissolve instantly. Calidesi doesn't care about your schedule. A park employee once described it perfectly. People think beaches should entertain them. Calidesi expects you to entertain yourself. Picture this. You step off a ferry. The mainland noise disappears instantly. The sand is cool under your feet. The water is calm, shallow, and turquoise. You realize something uncomfortable. This is what Florida looked like before it sold out itself. Calidesi proves an important point. Sometimes the best beach towns don't have towns at all. They survive by being inconvenient. So be honest, would you trade restaurants and hotels for one of the quietest beaches in America?
There is a beach town in America named Cape Disappointment, and somehow that name still undersells it. Not because it's bad, because it's brutal, beautiful, and completely off script. Cape Disappointment sits at the mouth of the Columbia River, right where it collides with the Pacific Ocean. This is not metaphorical. This is one of the most dangerous and dynamic maritime zones in the world, historically known as the graveyard of the Pacific. Over 2,000 shipwrecks are tied to this stretch of coast, and people live here. Here's what makes this place unlike any beach town you know. The ocean is violent. The currents are unpredictable. The waves collide from river and sea simultaneously. This is not a swimming beach. This is a watch the ocean like it's a force of nature beach. The town nearby, Ilwaco and parts of Long Beach Peninsula, exists in permanent awareness of the water. Lighthouses sit on cliffs not for decoration, but survival. Fog rolls in without warning. Storms feel cinematic. And yet, the beaches are massive and empty. Miles of sand, cold wind, no crowds, no umbrellas. The sand dunes stretch endlessly. The sky feels bigger here. The Pacific doesn't sparkle, it broods. Now, the reality. It's cold, even in summer. The water will kill you if you're careless. Sunbathing is rare. Windbreakers are common. Tourism exists, but it's seasonal and quiet. This isn't a party coast. It's a thinking coast. People come to storm watch, to walk, to feel small.
Housing exists, but demand is limited because comfort seekers don't last. The economy is modest. The weather decides your mood more than you do. One resident described it perfectly. You don't live here for the beach. You live here because the ocean reminds you who's in charge. Picture this. You're standing on a cliff. Below you, waves crash violently where river meets sea. A lighthouse cuts through fog. The wind pushes against you like it has opinions. No music, no vendors, no performance. Just coastline doing exactly what it's always done, regardless of humans. Cape Disappointment closes this list for a reason, because it proves the point most beach content avoids. Not all beach towns are about leisure. Some are about respect. So now, be honest. After seeing all 10, glowing water, singing sand, wild horses, no cars, no crowds, no polish.
There is a place on the American coastline where the beach changes shape every year, where maps become outdated, and where humans are not the priority species anymore. Welcome to Monomoy Island, Massachusetts, the closest thing the U.S. has to a disappearing beach town. Monomoy sits off the elbow of Cape Cod. It used to be connected to the mainland. Then storms happened. The ocean decided otherwise. Now it's a shifting barrier island system that literally moves. Here's what makes Monomoy unreal. There are no permanent residents, no hotels, no restaurants, no roads, only sand, seals, wind, and water. Thousands of gray seals live here. They outnumber humans by an absurd margin. They rest on the beaches, swim offshore, and treat boats like background noise. And where seals gather, great white sharks follow. Yes, this is one of the most active great white shark zones on the East Coast. Monomoy is a national wildlife refuge. Human access is restricted. You need permits. Even then, you're a guest, not a resident. Rangers don't encourage casual visits because conditions change constantly. Channels shift, sandbars disappear. What was land last year may be open water now. This is a beach that refuses to be stable, and that's the point. The ocean redraws Monomoy annually. Storms carve new inlets, tides isolate sections completely. Navigation charts become suggestions. You don't settle here, you observe. Now the uncomfortable truth. This is technically American coastline, but it's not usable in the way people expect beaches to be. There's no recreation economy, no vacation infrastructure, no growth plan. And that's exactly why it exists. One biologist described Monomoy like this: it's what happens when nature is allowed to finish a sentence without interruption. Picture this. You're standing on an endless strip of sand. Fog rolls in fast. Seals watch you with zero concern. The water feels alive, not welcoming. You suddenly understand why humans left. Monomoy closes this list because it exposes the illusion behind most beach content. Not all beaches are meant to be enjoyed. Some are meant to be left alone. So be honest. After seeing all 10, bioluminescent bays, singing sand, wild horses, car-free islands, and places actively erasing themselves, do you still think the best beaches are the famous ones? Like the video if this changed how you think about American coastlines. Subscribe, because some places stay special only as long as people don't rush in. This wasn't a travel guide, it was a reminder. America's strangest beaches aren't hidden, they're just inconvenient enough to survive.